Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I had a lot of sorrow today because it was Mary Curry's birthday, and I didn't get too many people to commemorate it with me. Most people didn't know who Mary Curry was. I teach pre-calculus, and most of these are not engineers, and they had no idea. Oh man, so I was left to celebrate it by myself. And then I went to a board game meetup, and I couldn't find anybody to play various board games with me. I'm taking a break from the modern board games. I mean, I think I'll go back to playing some of the classical games like chess and backgammon because it's a lot easier to find opponents there. And to give you an idea of how much sorrow some of these games have given me, I have been programming Ticket to Ride Poland for a little bit over a year now. I actually started the AI around the time of Putin invading Ukraine, and my goal was to bring a little bit of peace involved, right? Because the Ukrainians were fleeing to Poland, and unfortunately, even though I might have the number one AI for Ticket to Ride Poland in the world, getting people to sit down and play the board game with me is not a strong suit of mine. And as a result, we could take a look at the condition of the board game. You could tell it hasn't been used very much, right? Actually, the game hasn't been used very much, but the box is all beaten up because oftentimes in frustration, I throw the box on the floor after waiting 2 hours for somebody to play this game with. That's why the condition of the box is so bad compared to the condition of the game itself, right? If I ever become famous writing Ticket to Ride Poland and this set goes into a museum, people can understand why. But anyways, I was thinking about some things that I could do that don't run into this problem, right? And then I remembered that I haven't gone bowling for some time. During the pandemic, when we couldn't sit face-to-face with somebody playing board games, I used to go bowling a lot. It helped that they used to, because of social distancing, you used to have every other lane being used, and that really helped with my anxiety levels. That's exactly the reason I haven't gone bowling as of late. But you know what? At least I don't need a partner to do that with, and that will help alleviate some of the anxieties, right? And obviously, it's not hard to find somebody to play chess, although finding the right skill level opponent might be the trickier part. Right? Sometimes you play somebody who's way below you, sometimes way above you, but that's part of the fun, right? At least you get to sit down with somebody, right? Same thing with backgammon, although backgammon has its own challenges because people like to bet money on that. That will be a little bit... I mean, I don't have a problem with gambling. I'm not addicted to it. I'm not objecting to it because of religious reason or anything like that. I just outright can't afford it. I'll have to think about my own finances on how to put aside some money to go out and have fun if backgammon is going to be the route I take. I often can't afford. Part of the reason, also the other part of the reason I haven't gone bowling as of late, aside from the cost, the other problem is that Phoenix is a huge city geographically. And you have to drive a good distance. The board game meetup, part of the reason I got addicted to going there is that it's on my way home from work. I don't have to drive extra distance. My car sometimes gives me trouble. Sometimes the check engine light goes off, and other times some tires give me a lot of trouble. And again, it's a little bit out of reach for me sometimes, right? And so the other thing that gave me a lot of joy this past month was when I went to see the solar eclipse in Salt Lake City. I keep saying Salt Lake City. It was in Albuquerque. I keep getting my cities confused here. That's how little I travel. I wish I could do it more. I wish I could have had 2 or 3 extra days in Albuquerque. The trip was very rushed. I left Friday after work one day and got to Albuquerque, slept this Friday night. Saturday morning went to see the eclipse, and then I headed back because I had to get up early on Monday morning. I wish I didn't have to do it that way, right? In an ideal world, I could have had 2 or 3 extra days. I'll have to think about how to handle that next time around. Obviously, a number of my colleagues also wanted to go see the solar eclipse, and I encourage people to go stargazing. I didn't want my colleagues to miss out, so I took one for the team that time by making the trip a little bit more rushed than it had to be, right? So maybe I shouldn't be too upset about that. But in the future, I do want to travel more, not just during solar eclipses, but I really miss in the past when I went to when I would go to the Computer Olympiad. I would often take a side trip. I spent some time in a internet cafe, living in an internet cafe in Japan. I spent one night in Białystok, Poland, and I really missed that. I wish I could do it more. But in the short term, I'll probably go back to bowling because I won't have to worry about finding partners or anything there. I'll just have to worry about it's a lot more crowded than it was 3 years ago, obviously. That's why I haven't gone back, right? Hopefully, by not this Christmas, but next Christmas, I'll buy myself a more reliable car so I can stop worrying about when my tires are going to blow or when my check engine light's going to go off or when my car's going to explode. That's the car has put a big constraint on my social life, I want to say. Anyway, all right. Some early New Year's resolutions, I guess. This is the Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Shit Show. Bum 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 bum.